And welcome back to another episode of The Role Players. This is the third episode. Filling in for Biggs is Avery, Heath, guru, self-proclaimed NFL expert. So we'll see how that goes. Anyone want to comment on Biggs' absence? I think kind of it's a one-year. We'll talk about priorities, but anyone want to comment on that real quick before we start?
One.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what he told you, but I think he's right across the hallway from me in this room.
Something's gonna happen.
I could be wrong.
I know.
But,
no. Snitches get stitches. I respect it. We'll get into that, but lot to talk about today. Kind of building off of the last episode. We'll talk about the national championship, Georgia, Alabama. Kind of get into some college football stuff. Then transition to the NFL playoffs start this weekend. Excited for that. Some picks for that. And then also college basketball, recap some games, talk about some stuff. And then we're still deciding, but we might be going live on Twitter tomorrow for the OSU-Wisconsin game. We'll send out updates for that tomorrow. But first, fellas, let's talk about the Natty. Georgia won 33-18. Jamison Williams and Mechie out. Bryce Young and the new core of wide receivers kind of not on the same page. Stenson Bennett had some solid throws. It was a defensive masterpiece for the most part. Your overall thoughts on the game?
Pretty boring. However, it was perfectly scripted. Fourth quarter was the most action, but no team by any means played their best game. It just felt like it was Georgia's, I guess. I'd say in like the second half, third quarter-ish, kind of sensed the momentum. They started to get the run game going, and Bryce Young just had no help. That defense, pretty solid defense. So, I mean, at the end of the day, good for Georgia. Needed that win more than anything.
Lou?
I was the only one that picked Georgia, so thank you very much.
Oh,
I was right. You guys were all wrong, except for Heath. I don't know what Heath was doing. I'm sure he was on my side. Second thing, CJ got robbed of the Heisman. I tweeted it earlier. Bryce Young sucked. I don't think he's very good at all, and I'm very happy for Georgia. Those are my takeaways. Bold takeaways.
Heath?
Yeah, I think Georgia played just a little bit better than Bama. I was actually surprised they kept blitzing Young, which they did not have success doing in the SEC championship game. But they were able to get pressure on him, and then Georgia did a much better job protecting Stenson, which they did not do in the SEC championship. And then beginning of the national championship, they weren't doing a great job. But as the game went on, they got better protection. The offense was able to make some plays, but really it was Georgia's defense that stepped up, and that they're the reason they won.
Yeah, also, let's be clear. From my perspective, I think Stetson Bennett is lucky that he has the 84 Bears defense playing on the other side of the ball for him. Because I think he only made a couple – he made some big-time throws, but –
he's literally Jake Coker 2.0. I mean, to this day, I still will never understand how that man won a national championship, but he did have Derrick Henry, and he had Kenyon Drake with the kickoff return against Clemson. But that man is the luckiest quarterback in the last 10 years, easily, to have a national championship on a championship ring. I mean, they had JT Daniels, who, in my opinion, if he's starting, then that guy – no doubt would have made the offense way more explosive. And Georgia, I feel like, would have been better, but that's me.
Isn't JT Daniels like fourth in Heisman projections for next year?
I thought he got hurt.
Yeah, he did. He got hurt, but then he never played again. I mean, he was back and fine, and he just is way better. He's just way more, I feel like, athletic than obviously Stenson Bennett. But Stenson Bennett just was like a game manager, and that's all that they really needed at the end of the day because they had such a good defense. But that man is not very good, in my opinion.
So I want to ask a question to you guys. Granted, like take away Ohio State's defense, how do you think their offense would have fared against Georgia's defense? Because part of me is like, obviously, I think we have the weapons that Alabama doesn't, but I think, dude, Georgia blitzed so much. Like, he didn't have any time back there. Like, I mean, obviously you have like a ton of weapons and a ton of different things you can do, but I just, how do you think OSU's offense, just offense speaking, would have lined up against Georgia?
If like healthy,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
assuming
Well,
everybody's
like everyone playing.
I don't think they'd be able to run the ball effectively,
Right.
but they'd definitely be able to pass the ball better. And Ohio State's offensive line is unbelievable at pass block, but they're not great at running the ball. They're just so big. They're just so tall. So and the OSU passes the ball a ton. So I feel like they're used to getting in the pass block more than run block, but it's worked for them all year. And I think they would have fared better than Alabama did. But yeah, the offense is defense now.
Good take, Heath. Lou?
He said it perfectly. We would not have been able to run the ball. But I think CJ would have had a field day, especially in an indoor facility with our receivers. I think he would have absolutely had a field day. And we would have won by 3 touchdowns, in my opinion. Unbiased podcast.
Unbiased podcast.
I'm sorry.
Fakes?
I mean, I think it would be a better game than what we saw, but I also think that I just think that Georgia's defense is I don't know. I feel like they're just like – I feel like they would shut down Ohio State's wide receivers, honestly. Even though they have weapons, I still think that – yeah, I do still think that. I don't really –
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean,
Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't the secondary the weakest part of the Georgia's defense?
Yeah.
I mean, sure it is, but I still don't believe in the pass protection for Ohio State. I don't. I honestly think that D-line would actually manhandle them, to be quite honest. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. I mean, they did it handily against Alabama the second time, and I just think that Ohio State can't solely win on throwing the ball, so you're going to have to run the ball. And for that reason, and the way that it's gone for Ohio State, I just don't see it happening. I think Georgia would have still probably rolled them, to be honest. It's my humble take.
Anyone else? No?
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a hypothetical. That's why I asked.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Is it's hard to be like, I don't know in that situation, like, because you can get like 3 different types of Ohio State teams. Like, I feel like one week you have the team that is so explosive in the air, and then you can have a team that and then the next week literally have a Michigan repeat. I just don't know.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. So that was good. Wrapping up that. Congrats to Georgia, even though Kirby Smart's a scumbag. Transitioning into our next segment, the good and the bad. So each of us is just going to have one takeaway, a good takeaway of the season, a bad takeaway. I'll start. I think the good for me is Ohio State, Michigan. It's a rivalry again. I think even though this hurt, this stung, I was on the ledge. I mean, I was sad. I was on the watch, but when it comes down to it, it's better for the rivalry. It's better for the conference. It's better for both these teams. So I'm excited and really excited for next game. I'll tell you that. I'm really excited for next game. And then the bad, I kind of bothered by the transfer portal. I know it has its benefits, but I think the looseness of like no rules, no restrictions on the transfer portal, I still think there has to be like a year eligibility before players can just enter it because it's just like free agency. It's open season. So I think that's kind of needs to be addressed. But those are my two takeaways. Heath?
Yeah, I kind of agree with the transfer portal. They're gonna have to regulate it some way. I don't necessarily mind it right now, but yeah, they definitely need to set some rules and standards with that, which I think they will because it's brand new. But my good is Cincinnati making the playoffs because that's a Power 5 team.
What?
So I think yeah, that's good for the non-Power 5 teams.
No.
Wow. Explain.
Yes and no. I mean, but then they gave them a chance, and then look what happened. So if you don't expand the playoff, it almost.
What do you mean? Look what happened.
Dude,
Who
they're
else would
never
have done
gonna
better?
get.
Notre Dame.
Dude,
Notre Dame got.
It's a 2-year.
Notre Dame went up 28-0, and then they got whacked.
Okay, well, that's not the point here. The point.
And have they sniffed it since? No. No. They were in contention, right? Weren't they fifth? Didn't they finish fifth this year?
Yeah, and honestly, I think they would have put up a better fight than Bama or Cincy.
I disagree.
I completely disagree.
Yeah, I don't know.
They beat Notre Dame on the road at Notre Dame.
Oh, that is okay. That is true. That is true, but
And Cincinnati didn't play a bad game. Their defense
No,
did
you're right.
well, and they just
yeah.
I'm just saying I think it's good for the non-Power 5 teams, but I also think it's bad because it's going to give the college football committee and the whole NCAA a reason not to expand the playoffs.
Well, right now they don't want to. Right now I think the Big Ten commissioner is the only one that doesn't want to expand it, and it kind of makes sense.
Warren, scumbag.
But it makes sense. Would you want to have, say, if some team gets, so it would mean that if they did an 8-team playoff, 5 teams that win the conference of the 5 means they get an automatic berth, and they get an automatic berth in. And then you take the next 3 highest teams in the rankings. And in my opinion, like, for instance, if like Wisconsin were to win the Big Ten, somehow, just saying, and beat Ohio State or something, a 7-5 Wisconsin team gets automatic like berth to like the college football playoff. I mean, I don't know. I think that's kind of crappy, but I think that with the non-power.
Bigger 7-5 Wisconsin wouldn't make it to a Big Ten championship.
They wouldn't.
If they win the Big Ten, because they would the teams that get in under the current under what's proposed is that the 5 conference champions get an automatic berth, and then they take 3 of the next highest ranked teams randomized. That's what's being proposed.
I think I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I think the 3 teams you could argue, but like how you fill out those 3 teams. But I think the Power 5 each conference champion.
Also, the chances of a 7-5 Wisconsin team making it to the Big Ten championship is just so low.
It wouldn't happen.
Who knows?
It's a good talk.
It was a hypothetical situation. It don't even be 7-5. It could be an 8-4. We'll fucking say it. I don't know. I mean,
all right, hold on. Well, that'll be our next segment. We'll get to that real quick. Lou, say good.
I mean, you guys said all of it already, but I think a good thing was seeing Clemson struggle this year. I hate Clemson. Just a little smile in my heart. Just a little tap off to this conversation.
That was good. I also think that was good for college football.
I agree. He 110% agree.
Thanks. What about you?
Oh, I'm sorry. It just got really ugly. Oh my gosh, you guys will not believe. Okay, sorry. I'm really sorry.
Hey, take the 80 milligrams Vyvanse and lock in. All right, one good, one bad.
See what I'm witnessing right now. Okay, can we repeat, please? Sorry.
One good of the season, one bad of the season.
Okay, one good of the season, just in general. Exactly what Lucas said. I think that seeing some big-time teams kind of go down and have struggles, Clemson especially, because Dabo Swinney, my least favorite, I'd say, college football. I don't really hate on college football coaches, but he just sucks. I loved seeing that guy just literally lose, not just like – and then also lose his best coordinator. That's pretty massive. But I think that the good is honestly
the bad?
Cincinnati, well, no, that's second part. I think that Cincinnati getting in was good, but the bad, we all need help. I don't really know. I mean, glad that Bama didn't win. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think the bad is that we just saw an SEC championship part 2, and it needs to stop being that way. I hate that that's what it comes down to every single year. It's just the same thing over and over again, and it sucks. It's awful.
No, I get that, but I think all
The Heisman was bad.
Yeah,
It wasn't really.
yeah.
There wasn't really any like clear front runners. It was whatever.
Yeah. I think overall we have some similarities. Now to the transfer portal. Just touch on this real quick. So, Bakes, you said that Bama lost 7 key players.
Yeah, 7 key players, including the all preseason SEC first team offensive player in Jalil Billingsley, who's actually being
that was
linked.
surprising.
That hurts.
Yeah.
You see OSU lose guys already. You see some big name, big schools lose people. I think some winners of the transfer portal for sure is like Texas, USC, and even not even transfer portal, but commits. I'd say Jackson State, which they get the number 1 corner and I think a top 5 wideout as well to complement that. So,
Crazy.
if anyone has anything for the transfer portal, I know we touched on in the past, but it's crazy. The whole thing's kind of crazy.
Is crazy. Definitely want to see. I mean, I think we already know the foregone conclusion of where Caleb Williams goes. That makes USC if he goes to USC, that makes them they're way ahead of schedule in terms of the rebuild. I mean, his presence alone is unbelievable. And then, definitely though, I don't know. I think that it'll just be interesting to see where the rest of these guys kind of go, especially like Jalil Billingsley. I mean,
I didn't even know he was leaving.
Yeah, I know. And I could see him going to Ohio State. I mean, realistically, if you think about it, they got Stover, and then Stover, I don't think probably not proven himself.
Are you talking about what? Are you talking about tight end?
Yeah, he's a tight end.
He's gonna play back. He's gonna play linebacker for 100%.
Yeah,
well, he's tight end now. I know that. So I mean,
he played linebacker for the Pokemon. He played He played G Scott.
Scott is a tight end.
G Scott's a tight end.
G Scott. Shout out for the Nike Air Max trainers from your apartment last year. Appreciate it. Kept those. And also, can we say a quick prayer to what's his name?
Jama.
Ransom. I have all of Ransom. I have
Latham.
Yeah. I have all of his locker room tags. Great guy. Sidetracked, but just thought I'd throw it out there. Yeah, I mean, I think that Jalil Billingsley would be a sick addition to Ohio State. That'd be another weapon for Stroud. Another weapon.
Lou, Heath, anything to touch on the transfer portal?
I mean, yeah, I think it's gonna become a problem if they don't do anything about it. If they don't set some rules and like you can't just transfer whatever. I also think it's hard because I transfer schools a couple times, so it's like, I feel like football players should be allowed to transfer, but it shouldn't be as easy as it is now. But I don't know. It's interesting. Like Spencer Rattler at South Carolina was a big surprise, and I think they're a team that's going to be a lot better this year. So I mean, it's interesting. It's new. It's whatever, but I don't know. We'll see how it plays out.
There's just no repercussions. It's like an NFL trade deadline. And I think that needs to change, to be honest. I mean, people are just going at will. And I think there should be some sort of repercussion. I mean, not like a repercussion in a bad way, but maybe think twice before changing schools, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's whether it's this year
there's
or
no
now or moving forward, there's got to be.
Well, think about college basketball, Gibo. You got to sit out a year.
No, I know. You got to have some type of.
There's got to be some
not restrictions, but there's got to be some type of requirements to be eligible for a transfer portal.
I agree.
And if not, then you got to look into the eligibility of maybe sitting out. I don't know. It's
Take
complicated.
a
Yeah.
red shirt then. Like, take a red shirt.
It is complicated.
I'm
Or
sure
like
they're
if you
gonna.
transfer, like NIL deals have to be, you can't, something with that.
I like that idea. Yeah, something that'll make them
Yeah.
think twice before they go.
I think they'll
Yeah,
probably
look-
dip into that.
Yeah, they'll definitely do something.
So yeah, we'll keep an
Hopefully.
eye out for that. Bakes, is that a molar?
Yeah, Moeller volleyball, found it at Goodwill. Hey, got to shout out for my dad's alma mater.
I forgot, Rich. Respect to
Yeah,
Rich.
that's the only reason you're allowed to have.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Next, this is Baker's segment. He wanted to talk about here. Is Georgia the king of this decade? Bakes, I'll give you the floor, and then I'm going to rebuttal that. I'm going to rebuttal that in a second.
It was proposed as a question, and realistically, I felt that this was a game on Monday that was a domino effect. In terms of recruiting, Georgia is, for the next 3 years, looking at, again, bringing in a top 3 class. And in having JT Daniels does come back next year, along with the possibility of James Cook and maybe even Pickens, given that Pickens didn't have, he came back really late coming off a torn ACL. We saw when he has someone that, can make the throw, throw it his way, he can make the big play. I think that the momentum in the SEC could be changing. However, the difference, I will say, that I don't think that Georgia is the king of this decade, but I definitely think that they are I think they're about like a centimeter behind Alabama. I do. I think that. I think that they are close. They needed to win, and that's all they needed. They needed to see that go down, and I think that Georgia and Texas A&M are the teams of this decade. You heard it here first.
Baker, I would bet you $100 that Georgia doesn't even make the playoff next year. I will bet you $100 on this podcast.
I'll bet you right now.
Okay, deal it. Shake it.
Heath, do you wanna go first?
Yeah,
Wanna
sure.
go first?
I mean, what do we mean team of the decade? Like they're just
Bakes,
going to dominate?
Are you talking about this upcoming decade or last decade?
This decade.
This decade. So 2020 to
2030.
So the past 2 years, 2.5 years.
Well, I'm saying of the rest of this decade, do you see them being the king? That's what I'm trying to say. It's a hypothetical question. It's a futures thing. Like, where do you see them going? That's what I think. In my humble opinion, I think that they needed to see one win go down, and that's what they needed for the momentum. Because a lot of recruits are not, they're going to Bama, sure, but Saban has, he's got a deadline. He's not going to be around, I don't think, into the 2030s. Kirby is killing it right now in the recruiting aspect of things, and they just need to see one win go down, and I believe they carry that momentum for the rest of this time in the SEC. And if you look,
Heath, do you want to go? Or you want me to go?
I'm just saying
that's a good question. It's valid.
I mean, yeah, it's either going to be Georgia, Ohio State, Bama. Texas A&M is going to be up there. They've got dogs.
You can't say that. I mean, Grandma, have you seen that they have the greatest recruiting class?
Bakes. You know how many teams have like great recruiting classes and
Grandma,
don't make it? You know how many good recruiting classes Michigan has had? You know how many good recruiting classes Texas A&M has had? You know how many like Penn State has had?
I'm just saying that this one is considered the greatest of all time. The greatest. And it doesn't lie. I mean, they have at every position the top player in every position.
But what is that translating to? Like Georgia, for example.
That's what I'm trying to say is that adds depth to their roster for years down the line for them to go and compete. So that they could essentially be. That's what my question is do you think that Georgia's the king of the going to be the king of the decade, or do you think that there's other teams? Okay.
Absolutely
I still think it's going to be Bama. I think Ohio State's going to be up there, although they need to close the deal next year. If it's not next year,
Yeah, I don't think
hot
that's a
seat.
good point. Yeah.
But I think obviously Georgia's going to be in the next 10 years what Clemson was Clemson has been in the past 6 or 7 years. However, in saying that, Georgia hasn't had, to me, when it comes to their offense, their offense is still like Kirby Smart is a defensive football coach. Their defense is always going to be near the top, if not the best, year in, year out. It comes down to if he has a quarterback, if he gets a guy, and an offense. Because granted, like they squeaked by, but I didn't even think. I mean, Bama even shorthanded, even full strength. I didn't think they were as last year's Bama team. Last year's Bama team was so potent compared to this year's. It wasn't even funny. So I mean, they're going to be one of the contenders. I still think it's Bama's, and especially in that conference, it's Bama's until I see something different. And then you'll have other teams probably step up here and there, but I think consistently it's still going to be Bama.
Yeah.
Until otherwise.
I mean, yeah, it's just going to be whoever can dominate the SEC, which it's either going to be Bama, Georgia, Texas A&M. I mean, the SEC just has a bunch of teams, whereas Clemson, all they have to do is win the ACC, basically, and they're competing for a playoff spot. We just have to beat Michigan, and we're in, basically. And if a team in the Pac-12 can emerge to actually compete, like USC maybe within the next 5-10 years, then winning the Pac-12 is all they have to do. So I think if you start to get teams that can consistently win their conferences like Ohio State and Clemson have, and you add like a Pac-12 school that's actually going to compete, then there's 3 teams right there. Whereas the SEC, you're going to have to be fighting for a spot compared to the other conferences, in my opinion.
Lou,
I got nothing.
are you serious?
I have nothing.
Why are you
I'm not taking that
betting
answer. I'm not taking that answer. We need
You
to.
know my answer. You know what my answer is going to be.
No, I know what it's going to be, but in this situation, this question, what do you have?
After what all 3 of you said, this is exactly why you need a college football expansion in the playoff. Is 100%.
Then they'll say that's our next segment. Do we
I
need
agree.
one?
100% why you need it, because all these teams are getting new coaches, are getting all these recruits. There's gonna be like 10 teams in the next decade that I think can win a championship.
So
There's
would
not
you
gonna be
extend it?
enough.
Would you want to extend it to 8 or 16 or what?
12, 8 or 12.
I think 8's the perfect number.
I think 8.
8 or 12 doesn't matter. I'm just saying this is exactly why you need it though. If
Here's
teams
the
like this are gonna emerge, you're gonna have to have it.
They're going to have to take away a regular season game, right? Like a non-conference regular season
Which
game,
is
if that's the
fine. Like, who
case.
cares?
Who cares? Yeah.
Okay,
We take away,
that's
like,
fine.
Ohio
That's
State
what
versus
they're
Akron.
going to have to do.
What does that do for
Only
anyone?
preparing some of them for the NFL anyways, 16.
Exactly.
17, so it don't matter.
But then you're going to have the same argument for teams 9 and 10 or 11 and like those teams. So like, how do you? I mean, you're always going to have that
Well, see, this
argument, but like,
That's
what's the
well,
difference between 4 and 8 when it comes to the first
But
2 or 3 teams?
that's the thing is with under the current like the proposal is that there's 5 guaranteed berths. So what if one of the top teams loses? Does it then if they're a 1 loss, let's say, does that then knock out whoever was in like position to be the 6, 7, 8? Or does, do you put that team in and just kick the other one out? Or is it win or go home in the conference championship?
But also, if you expand the playoff, then you can have more key games. Like Ohio State could go play Clemson second week, and it wouldn't matter. But then that's head-to-head matchup. I think something like that would be cool. Like, in basketball, I always have like the first week's always like the sickest games. Like college football should do something like that, and the first few weeks don't matter. And then from there, you can see from there.
I mean, they do. The opening.
I mean, not really though. Do they really? I mean, Ohio State, Oregon. I mean, like that kind of sucked. But like,
it's only so
like
much.
it would be like Ohio State versus like Bama, like second weekend. And like,
yeah, but see with like the ACC Challenge in basketball, that you find out like you don't know for like what you don't know for like till like 5 months before the season starts or like whenever it is. Like these games have already been scheduled years in
That's
advance.
true.
But,
That is
but
very
it,
true.
Lou, I feel like
But-
even with that, it's so like when you talk about the ACC Big Ten Challenge, like basketball is so different.
I'm not
than-
comparing it to basketball. Like
because
I'm
one
not,
game could just absolutely screw up your schedule, like for football if you lose that.
Yeah.
100%. But if you expand the playoffs, then it's not as stress-worthy of a game. It's more of seeing who's better head-to-head. And then, as Bakes was saying, the whole seeding arrangement wouldn't be a big a deal. It wouldn't be as hard.
Heath,
Yeah, that's a pretty solid back and forth. Not gonna lie, Heath. What do you
You know what I
guys?
mean, though? Kind of.
I mean, I don't know. OSU doesn't have to worry about that problem because we've got some awesome matchups coming up.
Yeah, no, seriously. Who we got next year? Texas.
Notre Dame scumbag Marcus Freeman threw us under the bus.
Notre Dame, Washington, Texas.
We have Notre
Texas.
Dame next year, and
We played
Texas.
Bama in
a couple
2020.
shit shows from there.
Viewers
What?
is there.
There's
Yeah.
one year when we play Washington and Texas, I think,
Yeah, we do like
or something like that. It's something like that.
So is the overall consensus 8 playoff or 18 playoff?
8, yeah. For
Okay.
me,
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about it, but that's just me being an OSU fan, is like it makes the rivalry OSU Michigan not as good, because then if you lose that, say Michigan loses to us and they still make the playoffs, and then we play them again. I mean,
Valid
which I'm
point.
fine
That's a valid
with,
point.
but it just, I don't know.
No, it's a valid point.
It changes things.
So a lot to debate and discuss moving forward with that. I know they haven't really – they kind of are going nowhere with those talks, but we'll see what happens from there. And then final segment of the college football to wrap up this season is what game is a must-watch game next year? Anyone can start.
Alabama, Texas A&M,
That'd be a
hands
good one.
down.
OSU, Michigan.
Oh my dear God!
It is. Like, I'm sorry. It is.
I don't think next year it's going to have as much. I think next year, if
It's gonna be at
Washington
the shoe,
doesn't win
Bakes.
that next year, that's embarrassing. But
We haven't played them at home since my freshman year of college. The other one got wiped. The shoe's gonna be rocking. It's gonna be a sick game.
no,
Well,
sophomore year. At OSU.
At OSU, yeah.
Who's this year, Heath? Yours?
honestly, I don't really know. I didn't really look at that. Notre Dame at Ohio State. I mean, Oregon versus Georgia will be cool, but Oregon's gonna get mollywopped.
Guess who?
Yeah.
Oregon who?
Oregon's playing Georgia.
Oh, actually,
Yeah, I might change mine too. You go.
I would
Heath.
say I'm just looking at this real quick.
Name some games right now that you're seeing there.
This is what they have: top 10 September games. Number 1, Notre Dame, Ohio State. 2, Georgia, Oregon.
Oh.
3, Alabama, Texas. At Texas, which I would love to see Texas get absolutely rolled.
Yeah.
It would be a
That'd be
sick,
hilarious.
that'd be a sick game though. Still.
And then after that, it's not that great. That's just September though.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you got conference play.
I thought USC and Bama played
Next
again.
year?
They might. I don't know. I didn't see them in September.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know, dude. It depends. like one of the games on here is Florida State versus LSU. Why are they hyping up Florida State?
yeah,
They suck every fucking year.
I know. Yeah, I mean, so
Hello now. Wait a second with that one. They're coming. There was some baby steps made. They're coming.
They've been saying, "Oh, here comes Florida State, new coach. This might be the year."
no,
Dude, you had to
no.
literally
Jackson
clean the
State or
house,
who
No.
the fuck
man.
they lose.
Those are all good ones. Now transitioning into NFL. Heath, this is why we brought you on. Time to make the money. Time to get the bread. Show us what you got. So we're gonna preview some matchups. First, I know I got some Bengals fans here, but let's try to keep it unbiased. This is an unbiased podcast. Bengals, Raiders.
Who dat? Bengals by 100.
What are you guys like looking for? That's kind of what I was going at. Good job, Lou, but that's what I was going at.
You can go.
No, you go, Heath. I want to hear you.
Come on,
Okay.
Guru.
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. Well, first off, you've got the Bengals who haven't won a playoff game in 31 years. So that's a little bit of a curse. But, I mean, honestly, with the Raiders coming in, the Bengals played them earlier at Las Vegas, and it was a close game the entire game, but the Bengals opened it up in the fourth quarter.
Jamar Chase, baby.
Yeah. The X factor is going to be the Bengals offense, and Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Mixon. I mean, they're going to do what they've been doing. The defense has stepped up. I don't think the Raiders have enough playmakers on the offensive side. Josh Jacobs was limited in practice. He'll probably be playing. They'll have back Waller. I'd say the defenses are about the same, Bengals and Raiders. I think it's just Derek Carr is gonna have to play a clean game, and he's made 5 starts in temperatures under 38 degrees, and he's 0-5 in all those
That's
games.
a stat. Sheesh.
Plus, they have to fly cross country after a short week, and after that game, and the Bengals sat their players rested. So I would be surprised if the Raiders won.
Quick note: the Bengals actually did demolish the Raiders 32-13.
Yeah, it was a close game though.
Yeah, that score
Was
doesn't.
it?
Yeah, that's
Doesn't
like
reflect it.
Touchdown, and then they had like Mixon. I remember they scored 14 points in the matter of I think like 45 seconds.
Okay.
Something. Yeah.
Bakes, Lou, anything on this?
I agree with Heath completely. I think it'll be a sweet matchup. I really like the Bengals a lot. I don't really think I don't really like the Raiders really on anything. I don't really see I think the Bengals should cover this. I mean, they should win handily at the end of the day.
I think the Raiders match is over as well. They had a good run. Sad sob story. Good leadership by Carr, but they can just fuck right off, in my opinion. Who dey?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a very close game. I don't think it's going to be how it turned out the first time, but again, it's in Cincy, so I think it's going to be a good game. So we'll see.
Yeah, Joe Burrow's not losing that game though.
Next matchup, Pats Bills. They split earlier. This is round 3. This is in Buffalo.
Oh,
got to be freezing.
Yeah.
So any
let's see what the weather is looking at.
Gotta be negative.
He's a big weather guy. He threw that stat out there about the weather.
Do you remember the first game? The first game they played in was literally unplayable. I mean, that was they just ran the ball.
I can't find it. But yeah, I have the Bills winning that game. I mean, Bill Belichick's going to have the best game plan in the entire planet. So, and I know the Bills play in awful weather, so they're used to it. But that works out for the Patriots because the Bills have the best pass defense, and the Pats aren't going to rely on Mac Jones through the air. They're going to do what they do, and that's running the ball. And they're going to try to control the clock and rely on their defense, which is what they did when they won that game where Mac Jones only threw it 3 times. I just think the Bills have too much firepower, and I think Josh Allen is the reason that they're going to win. I think he's just going to be too much.
I got the Bills as well.
I throw it up there as well.
Bakes, do you have the Bills or Pats?
Bills.
I think conditions tough. Mac Jones kind of inexperienced there.
Yeah, but then it's like then again though, like I don't know. That game's kind of a toss-up, really.
I think Josh Allen is kind of built for the playoffs, though. But
I
I mean,
do too.
we'll see.
He's grown so much
Yeah.
since he joined.
Next match, next game per se, Eagles Bucks. I think the Bucks win by 50.
No way.
I mean, dude, they literally got the. I mean, yeah, they're gonna win by. I would say 55-60.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no excuse if they don't. Brady and them shouldn't even play in the second half. They should. Man, I didn't even know the Eagles were in until that Saturday game. I didn't even know two teams got in from the NFC East, the worst division in football.
I like Philly, but I mean, if you're playing against the Bucks in the first game when they're like been waiting, salivating like a Pavlov dog, like it's tough. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be that team.
Especially
I'll be here when you guys all pick the Bucks, and I'm sitting here picking the Eagles.
Brady doesn't. I mean, it's the playoffs. It's the only thing he cares about.
Horrendous pick, Lou. That's a horrendous pick. That's a horrendous pick.
You hate Brady.
This is not a horrendous pick.
He's only picking
Jalen Hurts. I think the Eagles are a good team
because Brady played for Michigan.
I think Brady is a sad ass old man that is going to lose, and he's gonna retire. Great quarterback. I think Jalen Hurts is legit, and I think the Eagles get the dub.
All right. I mean, we gotta respect the pick. But hey,
he's gonna go home and start. He's gonna start picking with his son and his daughter. He's gonna start making out, and then he's gonna be sad.
Okay.
Brady's not losing that game.
No. 49ers Cowboys. I think this is gonna be a great game. I think I think all of you actually picked the 49ers. I have the Cowboys. I think they're.
No, I picked the Cowboys.
Oh, did you? Okay, so we're split.
Favorite players on the Cowboys.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna be a great game. I think Zeke running the ball. I think the Cowboys running attack. I think is gonna be the key kind of difference here. I think Dak's gonna kind of figure it out. I know the 49ers had a great win and needed it last week, but I don't know how much I buy Jimmy G. I know Debo is unbelievable, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I think that I think that the fact that are you drinking a Celsius right now?
No. San Pellegrino, the Clementine and Peach sponsor.
Nice. Okay. I think that it comes down to. I mean, I think the running attack, yeah, sure, but I mean their passing game is unmatched. Cowboys. I feel like they're gonna throw all over the 49ers. On top of the fact that if they stop Debo Samuel, then half the offense is gone.
Losing Gallup did hurt for Detroit or not Detroit.
Cowboys.
Gone.
Cowboys, yeah.
Yeah,
but towards the
still got Amari, Cedric Wilson, CD Lamb. My guy. That is my guy.
Heath, you were shaking your head. No, what's the? What you got the stats? You got the crystal ball. You're rubbing it. You got the outcomes. What do you got?
As Stephen A. would say, the Cowboys are gonna cowboy it.
I know. That's the thing. It's like
I mean, this is my reasoning. I mean, on paper, the Cowboys have one of the best, if not the best, roster. But nobody wants to play the 49ers right now. I mean, they're hot. They started off slow. They were a team everybody expected to be good. They have so many playmakers that they use in mismatches. In their offense, the system they use is a nightmare for teams. I mean, granted, the Cowboys have a good defense, but for me, it comes down to Mike McCarthy versus Shanahan. And I just don't think Mike McCarthy's that great of a coach. And I think Kyle Shanahan is an unbelievable coach. And the 49ers rush defense, Nick Bosa, and
Forrest
fucking
Punk.
whoever else. He's not on the team.
No.
But they have been causing problems. I mean, the 49ers are hot. I think they can make a run. The Cowboys are explosive, but I think they're going to get to Dak, cause some problems. I don't think the run game, as much as I like Zeke, I think the run game's too inconsistent. I think the Cowboys are just too inconsistent. And right now, the 49ers are not. So
yeah, I mean, that's a game where it could go either way for sure. I think that's going to be a tight game as well. So I could see that reasoning. Next game, Steelers-Chiefs. I have the Chiefs, but I'll tell you what. I think the Steelers' defense is absolutely legit. I know they're inept on offense, so that's why I think the Chiefs. I think it'll be closer than what people think because I think are they 3 touchdown dogs? But I think the Steelers' defense is absolutely legit, and if they had a mobile quarterback that isn't 62, they would put up some points. I love Mike Tomlin too, but I just think the Chiefs, Patty Mahomes, kind of built for a run here. So I have the Chiefs.
Chiefs. I hate the Steelers. So.
I mean, the only reason they're in the playoffs is because of Mike Tomlin. And, I mean, he's just a great coach. And that's why I said I like the 49ers because of Kyle Shanahan. And the Steelers cannot throw the ball downfield at all. They're not great running the ball as good as Najee Harris is. I mean, the defense is good. T.J. Watt's a beast. But I think you'd be crazy to pick against Mahomes in the playoffs at Kansas City at night where they literally mollywopped them last time they played this year. It was not even close. It was embarrassing. I don't think it's going to be embarrassing. It's Big Ben's last game. The team will be fired up, but at the end of the day, the Chiefs' offense is just too good.
Thanks.
I mean, after seeing the Chiefs play on Saturday against the Broncos, I get the altitude might have some factor. He might be playing a little slow, what have you. But I got this kind of weird little Ray Lewis kind of Baltimore Ravens vibe with Big Ben. Last hurrah. I feel like it's like the Peyton. I swear, it's this thing in sports where it's like a star player's last season, their last go, and they get to go to the playoffs, and some magical freaking spell just washes off on them. I mean, we could be seeing, Miami Big Ben be playing in the playoffs. We don't know. 2009 Big Ben. I don't know. I don't know what to expect with this game. I'm being serious. I really don't know. Sure, you could say that, it could be a blowout, but I don't feel like that. I feel like the Steelers are going to come together. He said some pretty low comments today, but we're going to be waving around the towel, and they're going to strap up and they're going to go. And then Juju.
Tyreek's a little banged up too.
Yeah.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
So we'll see.
It's the playoffs. Rams Cards. I really don't care about this game, to be honest.
That's the best game on the plate, though. Let's be honest. That
probably
game
is. I think the Rams had the most talent. The Cards are kind of fraudulent. They've been fraudulent, losing big games all year. I think Kyler's a stud, but I also think he has. He's also.
D-Hop was out.
What?
D-Hop was out for majority of the year too.
No, I know. I think the Rams have so much talent. I think if Stafford doesn't turn the ball over more than twice, they win this. But I think it'll be a good game, like you said, Bakes. I just think the Rams have so much talent, and McVay's a stud.
Oh, why? Cardinals are winning this game.
They
showed it against Dallas. They're a legit team. D-Hop is coming back. I think Dallas sucks. I really do. I don't think Dallas is good. I think
we ain't talking about Dallas.
I'm talking about the Cardinals-Dallas game.
What are you? What are you talking about?
Stop interrupting.
You missed your chance with Dallas. Moving on. What's the next game?
Yeah.
That's
all right,
Heath. Let's talk to the guru.
Yeah.
We brought him on. Let's talk to the guru.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Lucas out of here.
I mean, both teams ended on low notes. Um, I mean, Kyler's Kyler. He's unbelievable. He's got a lot of talent. Kingsbury has a great offensive system. I mean, the defense is pretty solid. Um, but I mean, at the end of the day, like the 49ers and Cowboys, I just trust. Why can't I think of his name?
McVay.
Rams coach. Yeah, I just trust McVay a lot more than I trust Kingsbury. And the only reason I think the Cardinals would beat the Rams if Kyler plays a good game, doesn't have any turnovers or doesn't have any more than one, and Stafford doesn't choke because he hasn't been. This is his first playoff game. He has not been on the big stage, and when he has this year, he has not done that well.
Whoa.
So,
Time out. It's his fourth, actually. He's 0-3.
okay, well, 0-3, but yeah, he has not been good in the big games this year, and they've snipped by a couple of times. But I think he's going to play fine. Cooper Kupp's going to get his. Cam Akers is back.
So who do you have?
I think the Rams are going to win.
Okay.
It will be a failure of a season if they lose to this game.
They got a lot of talent.
Threw all the chips in.
A lot of talent.
It's win now for the Rams.
It is.
Absolutely.
It is. I've never seen a team actually go as all in, especially in football, as they have this year.
Yeah. So we'll see. They got to get the job done here. Quick rapid fire. No explanation. Just give me these next three pretty quickly. Super Bowl pick, team that can make a run, and the upset special. I'll start. I got Packers over Chiefs from my Super Bowl pick. I have the Cowboys that can make a run if they get by the 49ers. And then my upset special, I'm sorry, is the Raiders over the Bengals.
All right. I got Packers Super Bowl. And I have them defeating. I'm going to go with the Titans, even though I don't think that's going to hold. And then I
almost had that.
What was the other one, Grabo?
Team that can make a run. Did you say that?
And
then upset special.
Team that could make a run would be 49ers. Upset special. I don't even know if you really yeah. I would say that would be my only pick for an upset. I just don't see one happening, though, in the wild card. I'm being really honest. I feel like each team is way overpowered than the other. So,
Lou?
On the spreadsheet, I put the Bengals just because I love the Bengals, but realistically, I think the Packers win it all. A team that can make a run. No one's talked about the Titans whatsoever. Derrick Henry is back, and I think they can make a pretty good run. I also think they could win the Super Bowl as well. Then my upset would be the Eagles over the Bucs, just because I hate Tom Brady. But I think the Eagles pull it out.
Heath?
I have Packers over Bills, Super Bowl. Team that can make a run. I mean, I think the safe bet's 49ers, I would say, and or Bengals. Bengals are 4-0 against AFC teams, and Burrow's that motherfucking guy. So, and then upset would be 49ers or Cowboys, because I think the 49ers are 6 seed and Cowboys are 3 or something.
Okay. So we'll lock those in. That concludes the NFL segment. We'll keep an eye out for all of the results and stuff. Keep you posted on that. Kind of transitioning into college basketball.
Oh, let's go.
Gentlemen, big week this past week. We'll recap some games briefly. So Bama Auburn, great game. I was wrong. I had Bama. Auburn's legit. Jabari
Yes,
Smith,
sir.
Mel Green. They are a very good team. Probably definitely the team to beat right now in the SEC. Quick thoughts if you guys have any.
Yeah, that was one of the greatest, I would say, all-around games I've ever – this year, hands down, best game I've seen so far. Auburn is so legit. The guard play is unbelievable. They knock down shots and the big men. They did that without Kessler. Kessler fouled out, I think, with 9 minutes left. I want to say, maybe a little bit later, but they literally manhandled Alabama. I don't care what the score says. Like, physicality-wise, rebounding-wise, dominated that game. And then their three-point shot making. Green played out of his mind. But you have to think, I don't know what Javon Quiverly was thinking on that last possession, not taking the three and trying and driving. That was a tough to see. But yeah, I mean, Auburn's legit.
Lou, Heath,
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Heath.
I'm not playing teachers pay here. You was
I gave you it. I said it.
Back on the screen. All right. Honestly, I haven't really been watching college basketball that much this year. I'm starting to now, but I did not see that game. But Baker said great guard play, which I think that's how you make a run in the NCAA basketball tournament. And Auburn's 14-1 or something.
Yeah,
15-1.
They're ranked third.
They're legit.
Texas
Tech,
I know what
Baylor.
you're talking about now. I know what you're talking about.
Doesn't matter, Mr. Chance. Texas Tech, Baylor. Texas Tech, Baylor.
Can I say one thing?
Sure.
Hey, what did I say?
Be quick.
Smith is the number 1 overall pick in this upcoming draft. I don't think his last name's Smith, but the fucking 6 dude they have.
Yeah.
What's his name?
He's good.
Yeah.
Smith, right? He is. Some of the shots he made were unbelievable. Like turnaround jumpers from fading away were unbelievable.
All right.
Sorry.
Texas Tech, Baylor. Texas Tech beat Baylor.
That
Baylor
was their
number
first
1 in the
loss,
country.
right?
Yeah. Texas Tech got some guys back.
At Baylor.
Yeah, great game. Baylor looks to rebound against Oklahoma State. USC Stanford, also another undefeated team, goes down. Stanford won, I think, by 6. And then Miami, Florida, Duke, which I had on the spreadsheet, but I didn't have on Twitter. Miami, Florida beats Duke in Cameron. McGusty, trying to think who else. McGusty, Moore, and Wong, all 3 guards, legit. Miami's lost to Florida State, but great win for them. So I guess their next segment, who should be number 1?
Auburn. If you say that, it's not Auburn. Who the hell is it?
There's not even a need for an explanation.
I have Baylor still.
You have Baylor still?
Yeah, I do.
like Baylor.
I still have Baylor. I still have Baylor.
Got some
I do.
dogs.
Sure they do, but they also blew a 15-point lead at home. I mean,
No. This was
Conference play.
Was this home? Did they lose? No, it was home. You're right. My bad. But the thing is
I mean that
Baylor's
that wins enough to get Texas Tech.
Baylor's throughout the season has been so dominant. Any top team you put, they dismantle. Yes, they past month in conference play, they haven't won by as much. And first game, Texas Tech, who's probably top 5, top 3 defensive team in the country, beat them. You're gonna have nights like that. However, I think Auburn should be 2. I think it's neck and neck. I just think right now the body of work, you could probably go 1-2, but I think body of work, I think Baylor still, you shouldn't be knocked, even though it's at home, for losing to it. Probably going to be a top 15 team here come next week.
Are you surprised Gonzaga hasn't been as dominant as people thought?
Not really.
Who'd they lose to? They have 2 losses, right?
They have 2 losses. They lost to Bama and they lost to Duke.
Bama, oh yeah.
I mean, great losses. But usually, you see in the past that they would have beat those past Gonzaga teams beat those teams. I think they were young. Just young, inexperienced. I mean, they have Timmy, and obviously Nemhard, but
Timmy? Tim Casey?
No, Drew Timmy. No, not Timmy. But I think Gonzaga, WCC doesn't really mean much to me, even though they're better. So that's why I kind of value Baylor and Auburn more so than Gonzaga. Lou, who do you think? So Lou and
I think Auburn.
Yeah,
I really do. What they showed against Bama coming in there, night game, primetime game.
I also think that Bama has more deficiencies than right now. They're reeling. I think they've lost 4. They've lost 3 or 4. 3, 4. Out of their past 5 games.
But you know
they're
this was
struggling.
But they came out firing. They knew this was a game they had to win.
They are a jump shooting or die team. That is the definition of Bama. But I think Auburn is legit, so I can see Bakes your case. And then Heath, who'd you say? Did you say Bama or not Bama? Did you say Auburn or Baylor?
I don't know, honestly. I haven't seen any of them play this year. But I don't know.
That's sad.
I know. I've been lacking. I'm
All
going to
good.
get back into it.
All good. Overreaction or not an overreaction. I'm gonna give you a statement, and you're gonna tell me if that's an overreaction or not an overreaction. First statement: there are only about 5 teams that can win it all. Is that an overreaction or not an overreaction?
Overreaction.
Oh,
Explain.
What do you mean explain?
Explain.
It's called basketball.
That's what I'm saying. But usually, like last year, realistically, you could say the only teams that really had a shot were Gonzaga, Baylor.
Dude, UCLA literally.
And like UCLA, you could put those 3.
Yeah, and
USC.
USC.
Last year?
And Ohio State.
No, this year.
Oh, no, but I'm saying last year. You could only, there were 2 teams. This year, I'm saying.
There's so many.
I know. That's why I threw out that statement. I'm not saying I agree with that. I'm just giving you these statements. I want to see what you guys think. God. Okay, so it's overreaction.
Yeah.
Next statement: Duke will not make the Final Four.
Not an overreaction.
I think that's a fair statement made.
Yeah, I think that's.
I don't even think they make the Elite 8, and Sweet 16 is a push.
That's a stretch.
Dude, it all just depends on.
It depends who you play. I mean, obviously.
What it looks like.
Yeah, it depends how they set up the NCAA bracket.
Yeah.
Because,
No, I know that.
Far ahead now, man.
No. Hey, it's good to look in the future, but
no, dude, Duke's known for.
No, I'm telling you, they are vulnerable.
Yeah, Duke is known for slipping up.
Yeah, well, that's the.
I don't care if it's Coach K's last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. That's what gives it a little bit more spice.
He's a sleazebag too.
I know.
They
definitely have the talent.
What has that man done? What has he done wrong?
Coach K? He's a sleazebag. He paid for Zion's mansion, shoes, everything. He gave Zion 7 figures. I mean, by himself, and he's not getting a probe. He's not getting the FBI's most wanted. Like, how does that work? That doesn't work. What? Because he's Jesus? Because he's God? Because he's Mr. Holy? No.
Zion's as close to a LeBron in college as we're gonna see, probably.
100%, and he got paid like it too.
Exactly. Well, I don't think he really did. Well, Kansas tried to, but that didn't.
There's a current pending probe on Kansas.
Yeah, that's why I would take any bet of Kansas not making the tournament because
they might. I think we should do a probe. We're gonna do it one of these next episodes. We're gonna do a probe segment. Conference strength from highest to least. 3 conferences. It goes Big 12, Big 10. Or no, my bad. It goes Big 12, Big 10, Big East.
That would be.
Is that in order?
Is that the order?
Yeah, that's the order I gave. Do you agree or not? Okay. And then my last.
Isn't the SEC doing well this year?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't throw in the SEC. I just gave you those 3 conferences. I didn't realize that this would be a critical one.
I feel like it's probably like 6 teams realistically. I feel like anyone in the Big 10 and Big 12 are like fighting for the title. Like 6 or 7 teams in like each conference.
Yeah. That's
like right now it's crazy. Like Purdue is like plus 550 to win the Big 10.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of good teams in college basketball right now.
I think the surprising conference is the A10. Hear me out, but like the A10 is a little toss-up conference. In terms of, I'm just saying, it's good. It's just good basketball. It's competitive. Not that it can compete with them, but I mean.
No, I mean you got Davidson, you got VCU. Dayton's a little down, but whatever.
You got Bonaventure, you got Dayton, you got Rhode
St.
Island.
Louis,
you have St. Louis. St. Louis almost beat Auburn. Probably should have. Up 14.
Yeah, St. Louis is solid.
Yeah, there's a lot of solid teams. I think it's a good year for college basketball.
Yeah,
Really is.
I'm excited. And then last statement:
Yeah, it is.
Notre Dame will make the NCAA tournament. Is that
After tonight, 100%. After tonight, the way they've been playing recently, 100%. It's finally coming together. Shout out Dane Goodwin. Hell of a performance.
Yeah, I haven't. Even though he's a friend of the program, unbiased podcast. 10-5 ACC. What is? I think they're 4-1. 4-1.
Yeah,
In the ACC?
Yeah,
Yeah.
4-1 at ACC.
Okay.
ACC
Yeah, 'cause
down. They already beat UNC.
Got to get
Wake looked terrible. Louisville lost. Florida State has lost. Miami's lost.
Yeah.
So I think
I
it's,
like Notre Dame.
I think they can. They got to keep on playing well, but I think that's not an overreaction. So I think that's a consensus. All right, and then we're gonna go to our spreadsheet real quick. Look at the picks. We'll go through this real quick. So OSU, Wisconsin. I have OSU.
OSU.
Yeah, Ohio State.
Faith.
You put Wisconsin.
Oh, I did? Yeah, shoot, my bad. Wisconsin, 100%.
You're such
It's just facts. No, they're not going to stop Johnny Davis, and they're sure as hell not winning at Wisconsin. It's Ohio State basketball. They let your heart down every time you want to put it, in the right place. It just is the way it goes.
I think they learned from IU. They take what they had from IU. They shove it right up Wisco's ass. They shut down Johnny Davis. And even if shut down – doesn't matter. Johnny Davis had 26, and we still piece them by 19. But, at Kohl Center, Big Ten game. So we'll see. Next game, Texas, Iowa State. Texas, Iowa State's fraudulent.
I've gotten everyone on Texas now. Saturday.
We'll see. But Colgate, Navy, I wanted to put that in there for the little guys. I got Navy, although Colgate, even though they're 5-10,
get out of here.
They beat Army, but you are not beating service academies in back-to-back games. You are not, and if you do, you're a terrorist. That is not happening. I have Navy. Navy's really good. Patriot League, they're going to win it. Spoiler. Navy, Colgate, everyone's got Navy.
Heath,
perfect.
What in the?
Illinois, Michigan, if that game is played, I think Illinois beats them. It's at home. Michigan.
I put Michigan.
Illinois,
it's not even close. No one can guard Cockburn.
Marquette, Seton Hall.
Cockburn.
I think Seton Hall at home, get guys back. So.
Oh, yeah, Seton Hall.
UConn?
I love Seton Hall.
No, they're playing Marquette. You had Marquette, of course.
Oh, yeah, dude. Marquette is a wagon these days. They cannot miss.
Away, we'll see. Providence, UConn. Everyone's got Providence. LSU, Arkansas. LSU, Arkansas. Three of us have LSU. Heath.
Who in the world?
Arkansas.
What is – okay, I will give you credit, Heath. I mean, Arkansas, I don't know if anyone saw how bad they were beating Missouri.
They're so bad.
It was 35-9 last time I checked. But how in the world – I mean, Arkansas lost to Hofstra, so that's all you need.
I just put Arkansas because they're they – similar in the SEC standings. I think LSU's above them a little bit, I think. But I don't know. I just threw that one in there. I don't think so. I saw LSU play the other day when they beat who'd they beat?
Kentucky?
Arkansas?
No.
Oh, I thought you were talking about LSU.
No, LSU. They played somebody the other day and they
Kentucky,
won.
and they beat Florida today. I don't know.
Oh my God.
They lost.
What?
No, but I mean, I don't know. I just put Arkansas. And I won't be surprised if they
okay. And then Mississippi State, Bama. Two of us have Bama. Two of us have Mississippi State. Should be a good game. I have Mississippi State with Heath. Bakes has Bama with Lou. We'll be telling for both those teams where they stand. Real quick, lock of the week. I have Boston U at Army. Kind of contradict myself going against the Service Academy, but Boston U Terriers are a bunch of dogs. OSU, Wisconsin, must-see game. Under the radar game, Oakland and Cleveland State battle for the Horizon. This will be the Horizon League title game come March. Book it. And I also have team you don't want to see, Texas Tech. Best defense, I think, in the country. Two good wins at Kansas or versus Kansas and at Baylor. So
is that Beard's team?
No, be
Is he the coach?
Texas. He's now at Texas. He left to go.
What happened to VCU coach?
Shaka Smart.
Shaka's at
Yeah.
Marquette. He's at
He
Marquette.
resigned.
When did that happen?
Like immediately after Texas got upset by Abilene.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh shit.
He's there. So real quick, last segment. OSU Wisconsin. Preview that. I think it's gonna be a tough game. Like I said, Wisconsin at home. They are dealing right now. Johnny Davis, consensus All-American right now in the running for AP Player of the Year. OSU got torched last time they went on the road, but I think they match up against Wisconsin. But we'll see. So, quick thoughts, real quick, on that game.
I mean, Gibo, we were texting through the Northwestern game. I mean, if you put up 95 points, you're not going to lose a fucking basketball game.
Yeah.
Our offense looked amazing. Our defense was shaky. But I mean, if you put up 95 points, you're not losing a game. And I think Ohio State beats them.
Unless you're Ohio State basketball, you'll lose.
I think the defense.
Where's it coming from, Baker?
Defense has to get better, 100%. Non-negotiable. Defense has to get better, and the
We
rebound.
lost to Indiana.
Yeah.
Liddell wasn't healthy.
No, I mean, you'll have those nights at Assembly Hall. I mean, they just did whatever they want. We had no chance from the get-go.
No excuse. Come ready to play when you get off the bus.
Yeah, absolutely. They weren't ready.
I mean,
Life in the Big Ten, though. Life in the Big Ten. So
They went on a buzzer beater. Oh, wait, no.
I got to see, but I think we got to talk about going live maybe for tomorrow's game. Got to see what everyone's schedule, and if we can. If not, again, we'll keep you posted. Heath, thank you for filling in for Biggs. We might send you to a 10-day to a full season. We'll see, but we'll have you on again for sure.
Wow, Ohio State's +3 tomorrow.
Book it. Heath, closing remarks real quick.
Thank you for inviting me guys on, even though I insisted on coming on.
Absolutely. That's just the hospitality that we offer. So that'll do it for the third episode. Again, we'll post on Twitter. We'll post on YouTube. This will go out. So thank you again, guys. We appreciate your following. Go Bucks.
Go Bucks.